He raised his pinky and carefully took the first bite of fried chicken in his life. Then he asked the white driver where he should throw the bones. Without a word, the driver calmly rolled down the window and said,
"We do this. This is what we do."
Seeing that, the black man couldn't help but laugh. He then copied the driver, tossing the bone out the window.
There you go.
But before the driver's smile had even faded, he was mocked by other white men at a red light. In the 1960s, racism was everywhere. And now, a white man was working for a black man. Faced with those hostile stares from the car beside him, Tony just raised his middle finger, then hit the gas and sped off. What those two white men would never have guessed was that only months earlier, Tony himself had been deeply racist. When his wife once offered a black worker a glass of water, Tony tossed the cup straight into the trash. His wife didn't understand, but she didn't argue either. Tony was the backbone of the family, and everyone knew about his short temper. With his strength, Tony worked as a bouncer at a bar, handling unruly customers. To earn extra trust from patrons, he'd even stage little tricks with the cashier. She'd sneak valuables from a guest, and Tony would miraculously recover them, earning both gratitude and a generous tip. He always acted reluctant to take the money, building a reputation for honesty. That way, Tony made plenty of friends. But one night, everything changed. A fight broke out at the bar, and Tony threw a man out with his bare hands. What he didn't know was that this man had powerful connections. Because of that, the bar was forced to shut down, and Tony suddenly found himself unemployed. With no steady income, he had to take odd jobs to support his family. Through a friend's introduction, he went to a mansion to interview as a driver for a pianist. When the boss appeared, Tony froze. The man was black, sitting high on his throne-like chair. Dr. Shirley asked if Tony minded working for a black man. Tony didn't like the idea, but for money, he swallowed his pride. Shirley explained he needed more than a driver. He wanted a bodyguard, a travel manager, someone to shine his shoes and wash his clothes. He was about to tour the Deep South, where racism was at its worst. The job would last 2 months. Pay $3,000 a month, plus room and board. The salary was tempting, but Tony stood up and refused. He could handle driving for a black man, but he would never be someone's butler. Shirley looked disappointed. The agency had recommended Tony more than once, saying he could solve any problem. Hearing that, Tony reconsidered. He agreed to take the job, but only if his pay went up by $200, and with one condition: he would never be a butler. Shirley just replied,
"Thank you for stopping by."
So Tony missed the chance. He kept hustling for small change, even selling his beloved watch to pay the rent. But only a few days later, Shirley suddenly called. He agreed to all of Tony's terms. Soon, Tony and Shirley were ready to hit the road. Before leaving, Shirley's manager handed Tony a guidebook for black travelers. It was called the Green Book. Inside were hotels and motels in the South that would accept black guests. Then they set off in a luxury Cadillac. On the way, Shirley gave clear instructions. Every piano must be a Steinway. He couldn't play on any other brand. And every night, he needed a bottle of whiskey. Tony quickly wrote everything down, but Tony wasn't the most disciplined driver. He liked eating while driving, and he often turned to chat with Shirley instead of watching the road. That made Shirley nervous, and he told him to keep his eyes ahead. Tony didn't care. At one stop, he even came back just to grab his wallet, showing he still carried prejudice toward Shirley.